Quick workout today. I don't have much time, but I thought we should try to do a little bit of something here. As always, consistency is the key, and we'll see what we can do. So again, a little warm up here today. Theraband. I might use a couple weights, but again, up to you if you want to use weights. If you have some bands, obviously that's all you're going to need. But if you've got more, then it's just more bang for your buck. I got two today, so it's kind of up to you how many you want to use. You may not even need bands at all. So it really depends on how much you want to push yourself, how strong you're feeling, etc. So I'm going to start by tying a band to a railing, piece of furniture, obviously. If you're with a buddy or a partner, then obviously you can use your partner. I'm going to tie the band to the outer leg for this one, and then we'll show you what we're going to do here. So quick tie, obviously with the bands, the more tension you have in it, the more difficult it is. And if you want to make more tension, obviously go further away from the point of contact with the point of anchor. If you want less resistance and get a little closer to it. Let me just adjust the angle a bit here. So what I'm going to do is a lunge or a split squat. So the band is just below my knee on the outside leg. So my inside leg is not attached to anything. Hopefully you can get a good look at that. Let me move the camera to get a better angle. There you go. So the band's on the outside leg. I'm in a split squat or lunge position, and my front leg is the one that's banded. First, I'll just show you simple. So hands on your hips, hands in front of you, across your chest, whatever. Obviously, you can hold on if you feel your balance is not great. In terms of the stance, my feet are slightly wider than shoulder width in this position. And what I'm going to do is just squat down and come back up. So what the band is doing is actually trying to pull my front knee inwards, but I'm resisting that by actually pushing out a little bit against the resistance to try to keep that nice alignment down from the hip through the knee through the foot. And you'll notice it most when you're kind of in the down position or that lower position, that your knee is going to want to try to collapse in. And we're obviously trying to battle and fight against that. A couple ways to make that harder. You can either double it up, which I'm going to try, or you can just go a little further from the point of attachment. Just make sure you're attached tight, because like I said, they can snap on you and it'll be a little tender. So just be aware. And again, we're trying to keep that nice straight alignment throughout. If you want to make this more difficult, and that's why I've got my second band here, I'll just show you what I'm going to do here with my arms. So again, I'm going to keep doing whatever I'm doing on my arms. My upper body, tilt up a little bit. I've got a little tight to the camera here, so hopefully you can see. I'm going to get the band overhead. I'm going to do just a bit of a kind of a pull down from overhead position. So this is my overhead position. I'm starting with my hands relatively close under the band, but straight over my head. And then I'm going to pull out and together. So as I come down, I'm going to pull out and then back together. I wish I had a bit of a better angle on that. When I do this horizontal angle, I don't really have the space. You can't see my leg now, but you got the upper body. Just rest assured my leg is still tied to the band. And kind of doing the lower traps with this one. So I squeeze my shoulder blades together as I pull my hands down towards the floor. And then again, still thinking about that alignment down through the knee. I'm going to flip this around. And I'll try to reposition this camera so you can maybe see a little bit better. I'm not sure if you will or not, but find out. Flip the leg. So I'm going to put the band on the front leg, just slightly below the knee. A bit of a wide stance on my legs. So again, I'm probably a little bit wider than shoulder width. Hands overhead, straight overhead, and then squatting down and coming up. And again, with the hands, the closer you are together with the band taut like that, it's going to be harder. If you want to make it a little easier, you just go a little wider, have a little bit more slack in the band, if that makes sense. So we'll do, let's say 10 to 15 per leg. And again, did you see if I just choked up on the band a little bit because I just found that a little bit too easy. And again, if I'm finding that not enough resistance in my leg, I'm just going to step out a little bit. And again, I'm trying to watch that alignment down from my hip through my knee through the foot with the band on it, pulling me in. And I'm just resisting that from happening. Okay, good. I'm going to do a similar thing, but slightly different. So the band's still going to stay connected to where it was on the post. And what I'm going to do is actually put it on the inside leg this time. So again, it's anchored here. My closer leg is now going to be anchored. I'm actually going to do the same thing, but it's now going to be on the back leg. And I'm going to be pulling in a little bit because it's going to try to pull me out. And actually, I might put this a little bit higher on my thigh this time. So this one is going to be above my knee. And the band, like I said, is anchored closer. Oops. The band is on the leg or closer to the post. I'm going to change my hands a little bit. So this time my hands are going to be right in front of me. And I'm pulling my hands like I'm kind of doing a row-like movement. But again, working the lower traps, working the back of the shoulder blades. And again, the resistance is pulling me towards the post there, but I'm resisting that and kind of pulling slightly in. So it's working the inner thigh a little bit more while I squat down or do my split squat. And again, if you want to choke up, you can either double the band. So doubling the band will obviously make that a little bit more challenging. Or you just bring the hands closer together. With the double band, I can't go quite as close, but it gives me some nice resistance there. So we're lunging it out today, or split squatting it out. And again, you want to keep those shoulders down and away from your ears. So you don't want to be all shrugged up here. You want to be nice and long neck. Pull the shoulders down and away from you as you roll your hands back. Okay, I'll do the other angle, other leg, so you can see what that looks like. On the other side. So again, I'm going to undo that side. Pull the hands on the other side here. Again, slightly above my knee. I'm going to double up my band because I feel that's the right resistance for me, but obviously you adjust as you need. Above my knee here. A little bit wider than shoulder width with the feet here, so you want a little bit wider base of support. And then my hands out in front. And then squat down to that split squat. I kind of like to think when I do my split squats or lunges that my back knee basically just drops straight up and down. My front leg is going for the ride is kind of how I like to think that. So just I keep nice straight alignment. So as you can look and see that I'm just moving basically vertically up and down. There's no forward and back movement. It's basically up and down in the vertical plane. So again, 10, 12. If you want more resistance from the band, obviously connected to the anchor there, move a little further away. And again, working that inner thigh, in addition to everything else that's worked through a lunge, adding the resistance of the upper body. Great. Okay, I'm gonna keep that there. So I'm gonna use a weight for this one. Obviously bands work great too. So if you don't have anything, this weight will be great. I'll show you the weight first because, like I said, I was gonna try to do a Theraband workout. I'm gonna grip this weight, palm up. Feel free to adjust your grip, so palm down versus palm up. It does work your forearm muscles slightly differently, so I suggest do both. One set, go palm down, one set, do palm up. If you do 4, then go back and forth a couple of times. I'm gonna have my elbow tucked nice and tight to my body here, and I'm just gonna pull that hand away from me. So the movement's coming from the elbow only, and I'm just doing these tricep kickbacks. I go in this kind of split squat like stance, but in this position, I'm just letting my legs rest because they're a little tired from that previous exercise. And this is pure tricep, so this is a great one Quite a lot of resistance on this one because I'm using a heavier band and it's getting quite hot as I pull away. Try that on the other side. Just let me see what your angle looks like. Don't know what my angle looks like there in the camera, but the little battery signs come up so I can't even see the screen here. But I'm holding on with the opposite hand. I'm just doing that tricep kick back and elbows tight against my body here. So I really get minimal shoulder movement. It's all coming from the elbow, right? And again, that up, palm up grip makes you work my grip a little bit too to hold the band from slipping. And that's actually quite challenging. Good. Okay, next one I'll do, final ones. I'm just gonna do 3 exercises today. Actually, sorry, that's actually 4 exercises because the first one was 2. I'm gonna keep the band where it's anchored and do kind of it's not a wood chop because I find wood chops, I typically call wood chops up to down, but I'm gonna go down to up. Up to you if you wanna make this a little bit more leg focus. You can get down either into a squat or into a lunge position. I'll show you the arms first and then you can throw some legs in there if you wanna add. I'm gonna stack my hands, top hand, bottom hand kind of stacked together. And then stand so the post is basically slightly in front of you, but kind of lateral or beside you. I'm going to start down towards my bottom knee. Ooh, that's a little heavy. And finish up above. So the double band for me was a little heavy, so I'm going to redo this with just the single band. The double one was a little bit too much. So I'm just going to anchor myself with a single band. Try that again. So because I have the single band now, I'm going to be more stacked like this. So if any of you guys ever wakeboarded or was that water skied, you hold the little trapeze bar, one hand up, one hand down. So I'm down by my bottom leg. I'm going to finish up top. So down low to up high. Oops, I got lost here in the knot. I'm just going to double up that knot so it doesn't come flying off on my face. Down low to up high. So this is a core one. So not only am I moving my arms, I'm rotating through my trunk. So my arms actually don't move a whole lot. It's mostly through my trunk. And I'm in this kind of, I'm going to call it a sumo squat-like position here. There's different ways to do it. I'm showing you first with the sumo squat-like position. And just remember that your release or your return to start position is controlled. So I'm going to go up and control back. And again, the rotation is happening from the trunk. My arms are actually pretty much not moving. My upper body is staying relatively still here. If you want to change that up a little bit, get a little bit more leg involvement, you get down to that split squat position. And I'm going to call it open to the anchor point, but the closer leg is back and my farther leg is in front. Get down into the lunge position without my knee touching. And then same kind of a thing. You're just going to get a little bit more leg involvement. And obviously make this a little bit more challenging. Is another way you can get this done and get multiple body parts working at the same time. And let's try a couple on the other side. Just swing this around. So again, I'm open to my anchor point. I'll just do it first in the split squat because I just finished on the other side doing this one. So I'm down low by my bottom knee here. Finish up top. So kind of reverse wood chops. If you want, you could do this with one hand too. I didn't even get to that. We'll do that in another video. But again, the rotation's coming from my trunk and minimally from my shoulders or arms. This is great for golfers. It's great for any throwers, volleyball players, racket sports, and also to get the balance right to left, because obviously when you play a racket sport, you always obviously tend to play on one side. Although the backhand does happen, it's very one-sided dominant golf, hockey, etc. So this is great to make sure you're getting the balance on both. I'll just flip this over for this one. Hopefully maybe there's a different angle here. I'm just gonna do, oops. Kind of my sumo squat position, and then from down to up. So again, different ways of doing it. You can control or adjust your leg position to work different muscles and of the legs at least. And like I said, the anchor point should be slightly in front of you, like maybe 6 inches, 10 centimeters behind my front knee. And then my arms are staying relatively still. And it's a rotation through the trunk. So core dominant, rotation dominant. Great for those, like I said, racket sports, throwers, hockey players, golfers, etc. But really just good for anything in general to get that core going, and also working rotational movements. So you're not just working that forward kind of front back plane like most exercises happen in. So you want to get out of that plane and work kind of more 3D. Okay, guys, my battery is pretty much toast here. So have a good rest of your day. We'll see you next time.